Good day, everyone. I'm Rename A. Canelio. I'm here to discuss a topic about Dadaism. What is Dadaism? Dadaism, or Dada, is a post-World War I cultural movement in visual art as well as literature, mainly poetry, theater, and graphic design. It is originally a colloquial French term for a hobby horse. Dada as a word is nonsense. However, Dadaism proved to be one of the revolutionary art movements in early 20th century, born as a response to the modern age. Dadaist reacts against the rise of capitalism, bourgeois values, and the horror of the war. Dada celebrated luckiest of place of logic, irrationality instead of calculated intent. So now let's proceed to the history of Dadaism. Dadaism or Dada is begun in 1915 and after 1920 flourished in Paris. Dada emerged from a period of artistic and literary movements like Futurism, Cubism, and Expressionism centered mainly in Italy, France, and Germany respectively in those years. Dadaism or Dada was a movement of the European avant-garde in the early 20th century, with early centers in Zurich, Switzerland at the Cabaret Voltaire. Dadaism is considered as an anti-art, predicated on nihilism, from the Latin word nihil, which means nothing. It's considered as anti-art because Dadaists rejected cultural and intellectual conformity in art and more broadly in society. For everything that art stood for, Dada was to represent the opposite. Where art was concerned with traditional aesthetic, Dada ignored aesthetic completely. If art was to appeal to sensibilities, Dada was intended to offend. And now, let's proceed to the famous Dadaists and their works. The first one is Marcel Duchamp. His full name was Henry Robert Marcel Duchamp, born in July 28, 1887, in Blainville, France, and he was died at October 2, 1968, in Nivelles. He is a French avant-garde artist who broke down the boundaries between works of art and everyday objects. He is a French painter, sculptor, chess player, and a writer whose work is associated with Cubism, Dada, and conceptual art. He also considered as one of the most important artists of the 20th century. Duchamp was one of the very first to bring manufactured objects, which he called ready-mades, into the gallery space. Famous artwork of Duchamp. The first one is Fountain. Fountain was a particularly attention-grabbing ready-made because it was such a crass, crude object, even if the one he brought was brand new. Fountain is one of Duchamp's famous work as is widely seen as an icon of 20th century art. The original, which is lost, consisted of the standard urinal usually presented on its back of exhibition purposes rather than upright, and was signed and dated Armut. The purpose of this ready-made sculpture, Duchamp stated, they are everyday objects raised to the dignity of a work of art by the artist's act of choice. So the second art of Duchamp was LHOOQ. He used to artistically present different objects surrounding him and called them found art. Such as representation is LHOOQ. an ironization of the famous painting Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Mona Lisa is rendered with a beard of a muscle ape in black and white. So in this picture, mo ni siya ang original image sa Mona Lisa. So si Duchamp iyang gi kuan ang kini nga painting is iyang gi pun-an og kanang pun-an niya bungot para bitaw mura siya kanang para bitaw mahimo na lang katawa-tawang usa ka image, diba? So lahi siya sa kanang original image ni Mona Lisa nga wa siya bungot, diba? Sa painting ni Duchamp na nasa bungot dito. So si Mona Lisa mura na siya nahimong laki. So mao ni ang kuan purpose sa Dadaism nga mga painting mura siya kanang imbis ang usa ka painting is okay ra siya, mas ma-clarify nimo kung unsa siya nga object mura siya sa mga arts nga gibuhat ni Duchamp mura siya nahimo na bitawng kuan kanang for entertainment na lang siguro. So now let's proceed to the second famous artist in Dadaism, and that is Francis Picabia. The full name of Picabia was Francis Marie Martinez Picabia, and he's born on January 22, 1879 in Paris, and he died November 13, 1953 in his place of birth. He is an avant-garde painter, poet, and typographist. He is known for a rich variety of works ranging from strange, comic ironic image of the machine's part to text-based paintings that foreshadows aspects of conceptual art. He is a friend and associated with Marcel Duchamp. He is known to be the Papa Dada because he was one of the principal figures of Dada movement for both Paris and New York. Famous artworks of Picabia. The first one is Love Parade. Picabia's mechanomorphic pictures suggest analogies between machines and the human forms, and their emphasis instead of instinct and compulsion. To contemporary viewers, they were scandalous were their rejections of idea of a human soul, both often erotic. This work of Picabia blended male and female. The upper part is red, might be considered female, and the lower part is blue, and that is male. The viewers can imagine the sounds of hammering and the idea of a sonorous sculpture or a musical instrument. Love and Parade is a non-conceived about political demonstration para sa peace o international understanding pinaagi sa love and music. So now let's proceed to the second artwork of Picabia, which is the Adam and Eve. This enigmatic painting is part of Picabia's Transparency series, whose dream-like quality derives from layers of imagery and faintly suggests strange narrative. Through the title of this painting is Adam and Eve. It was inspired by Orestes and Electra, a classical Greek sculpture in the Museum of Naples, which portrays Electra and her brothers considering revenge to their mother and stepfather for the murder of their father, Agamemnon. Classical subjects such as there were popular in the interwar period, yet most artists attempted to give new life to classicism by adapting it to modern times. Picabia refuses this temptation, instead leaving the statue enigmatically, layered with a smiling face and leaving us with a mystery. And that could be all. Thank you.